I'm going to share a couple of examples from the pre-K up to fifth grade. It's a new resource of opportunities in the food system for a variety of grade levels. Jeswyn talked about sort of the middle school, high school, and these are sort of more on the I would say, high confidence maybe for the educator, but maybe lower capacity in some ways within the system. So these are sort of smaller bites. And I like to think of if you're in a pre-K through 12 setting, that students over the course of that whole career in school have multiple touch points each year to engage within the food system. So in a pre-K, they might be starting with a tea garden and raising the herbs and the making teas and saving seeds, and maybe even selling loose tea as a fundraiser. The kindergartners are the pollinator garden caretakers, where they're really thinking about the importance of pollinators within the food system, and they are building, and I love to use perennials in a pollinator garden, like just lower touch sometimes in terms of the effort to replant every year. We might have somebody who's working on seasonal cycle watching in the first grade, but going back to that idea earlier of cycles being a common theme within first and second grade science. Doing weather reports and maybe doing an update at the weekly assembly about outdoor play and garden play and whether we need to know about. Second graders, Jeswyn talked about making some lip balms. This is a school that I worked with that the second grade kind of became the herbal remedy makers, and they worked with the school nurse to have these items within the school nurse's kit of tinctures for upset stomachs or calendula salves for scrapes. So growing some of these products, harvesting them, and making some of these products, or buying these products locally, buying the calendula or the beeswax. You're kind of taking it to third grade, being in thinking about caring for the bees. In the Northeast, maple sugar trees, and somewhere else it might be another sweet that you have access to, but caring for the bees for sure. And then in fourth and fifth grade, two really excellent projects. Jeswyn talked about being in charge of helping develop the compost program. So getting into that with students being the soil stewards and compost caretakers, really thinking about the whole food system, the whole experience in the gardens. And then in fifth grade, and you'll see there's a link in the document that's posted to a teacher working on developing a new cookbook called Celebrating Our Roots, a multicultural recipe cookbook that she put together with her students and their families, really featuring Indigenous and some of the immigrant families, their crops that they're used to seeing, and then growing those in the garden. So, you can kind of add on. It could be focused around the cookbook and developing literacy, and it could be around math. So really being creative about the ways to make these projects happen.